So the first way that we suggest to you that you get definite about prosperity so that prosperity can get definite about you is by simply taking your decree sheet and opening it to the inside section there to number 2, where it says, write out what you want to manifest or to experience in your life. Get definite about prosperity, in other words, by sitting down and making a list of the good things you want to experience in life. Emma Curtis Hopkins, who was a great success teacher at the turn of the century, once said this: sit down at a certain time every day and write down on paper what your ideas of good are. You will find that such a practice will pin your mind down to the truth and you will get results. Another eminent success teacher and metaphysician was Dr. Emmett Fox, and he said that this is the way to alter your life. By writing out what you want to experience in life, this is the way to alter your life. Now remember this, friends, if you do not do this, if you do not get definite about what you want in this way, if you just drift along without any decision or definite purpose or goals, you will become the helpless victim of circumstances. If your desires are not clear and definite, you become subject to the dominating personalities of people around you. You become subject to the stronger minds around you and what they're thinking about. And you'll find yourself simply manifesting in your life what somebody else around you wants, simply because they know what they want and you don't. And so your mind becomes a broadcasting station through which their definite ideas come to pass. Now, the way to overcome this and the way to overcome difficulties is to set a goal. Begin to get definite about what you want. And to do it by writing it out. Just don't just carry it around intangibly in your mind, but write it out. Now, perhaps you've had this experience at some time in your life. Have you ever, at some point in your life, become subject to the stronger ideas of someone about you who knew what they wanted when you weren't thinking about what you wanted, and so you found yourself getting what they wanted for them? One of the stories I like to tell, and Richard doesn't seem to mind my telling this story, is about the time several years ago before he went in the Air Force when I looked out of the window in our front yard and realized that the 2 sports cars that were parked in our front yard were both the result of Richard's definite ideas about what he wanted and liked in cars. Now, I had never had any preference to cars, but like most men, Richard knew exactly what he liked in cars. The result was that not only was he driving a sports car equipped for racing, but would you believe it, I was driving one too, equipped for racing. And so remember this, if you do not know what you want, and if you have no set purpose, your subconscious mind just produces a conglomeration of circumstances. This is why there is so much confusion in the lives of passive people. You know, we say, I can't understand why that person has so many problems. They're so nice. They're so passive. They never cause anybody any trouble. All right. These are people, again, you see, that don't know what they want. And because they don't, their minds, either they find themselves manifesting what someone else around them wants, or else their subconscious mind just produces a conglomeration if there's no one around them with strong ideas. And so this is why there is so much confusion in the lives of passive people. We should concentrate or think about a thing long enough, and as we do, then we're sure to get it. But always have a definite goal in mind and write it down. Never let yourself drift unless you want to end up with 2 race cars parked in your front yard with racing equipment on them the way I did. Now, Someone asked me one time what I did about those 2 race cars. Well, it worked out very nicely because I suddenly realized that it was all right for Richard to have a race car, but I wasn't interested. So I kept blessing the race car I had, and pretty soon Richard went in the Air Force, and then I just gently got rid of mine, you see, and never got any more. Got what I wanted. But it's great for people around us to know what they want, and we want this. We want our families and friends and people around us to know what they want. And we release them to use their mind power to manifest it. But in like manner, we claim our freedom, you see, to manifest what we want too, because this is our heritage, to use mind power in our own lives to create that which we want and that which is right for us. Now, there is a specific reason why you should get definite about what you want. So often people say, well, I'm not sure whether I should have this or not. Maybe I'm asking for too much, or maybe I'm not asking for the right thing. Remember this, that the word desire in its root means of the Father. In other words, any deep-seated desire you have is a divine desire. It is a universal desire for greater good. And it is the universe's good pleasure to give it to you, or to give you that or something better. And it should be your good pleasure to receive it. Now, the way that you can test your desires is this. If the desires you have are strictly surface desires, they'll pass away. But go ahead and write them on your list, because this helps to clear them up, and this helps to clear the air about them. If they're deep-seated desires for greater good, then those are the desires that will remain with you until they manifest. They are divine desires. They're universal desires. And so you should express them constructively rather than suppressing them destructively. And you see, when we keep thinking about things and then push it back in our mind and say, oh no, that's too good for me, or that could never happen to me, then we are suppressing a universal desire. And it's going to lead to a frustration within us. And sooner or later we'll have to cope with it. And so it is good to express your desires constructively rather than suppressing them destructively. And the way to do it is by making the list. Simply put on your list. Recognize that at this point you feel you would like to have this particular thing or blessing, whether it's a tangible or intangible one. All right. Also remember that desire, deep-seated desires, are universal. It is the universe trying to give you greater good. So open your mind to receive it. Then get definite by writing it out so that it can manifest for you in whatever form is best. All right now let's just declare from last night, I open my mind to prosperity. Together, I open my mind to prosperity. Since we are thinking of making a list, let's just declare, I dare to prosper. Together, I dare to prosper. Yes, good. Now, friends, remember that choice produces results. And again, you see, if we do not choose something positive and constructive through the sin of omission, we are choosing problems, confusion, lack, limitation, and so that's what will come to us. And so we're using choice at all times. Either deliberate choice for something better, or choice through the sin of omission, through choosing nothing and therefore getting all kinds of confusion and lack and limitation in our lives. Choice produces results. Your mind constantly produces what you choose. That's the power of writing out what you want. Now, there's an ancient secret about the power of writing out what you want, and I've talked about it in this book, Prosperity Secret of the Ages, and the old secret is this. Your definite written words dissolve all obstacles and barriers on the visible and invisible planes of life. Think about it. By writing out what you want to bring into your life, by putting it in writing, your definite written words dissolve all obstacles and barriers on the visible and invisible planes of life. Your written words go out into the ethers of this universe to work through people, circumstances, and events to open the way for your desired good to come to pass. It's an incredible thing, the way this idea of writing out what you want works. An artist proved this. She had an oil painting that had not been sold after having been on display for months at various art shows in her hometown. And people in her hometown said, well, you know, either that painting is too big or too small, it's too modern or it isn't modern enough, it's too bright or it isn't bright enough, you're charging too much or not enough, and so on. Everyone had a different idea about what was wrong with her painting. And this was a very successful artist, and her paintings usually sold right away. But she didn't accept any of these mixed up ideas and opinions of all of her friends. And finally, she realized that perhaps the reason this painting had never sold, she had never put it on her list that she wanted it to sell. So in her list making, on October the 11th, she made her list, and she wrote on this list that she would like for this painting to sell quickly at the price that she was asking, because she felt that was the right price, not too high, not too low. Now, an interesting thing happened. 2 days later, on October the 13th, she received a long-distance call informing her of an art show in another city. The caller was requesting pictures from her to display at that art show. She immediately sent the oil painting that was on her list. It sold as priced the day the show opened. Now, here was a painting that had not sold for months. 2 days after she wrote it out on her list, she got the phone call, and it sold in another city. All right. Remember the ancient secret concerning the power of writing. Your definite written words dissolve all obstacles and barriers on the visible and invisible planes of life. Your written words go out into the ethers of this universe to work through people, circumstances, and events to open the way for your desired good to come to pass. Psychologists tell us that most things are done by choice, that choice produces results, but that it is up to us to choose what we want. And we should do it because we are children of the universe, and this is our heritage. All right? Choice produces results. Let's declare it together. Choice produces results. I am a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. Let's declare it again together. I am a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. Remember the story I told you last night of the man who became very wealthy in an easy way and in a quiet way by declaring this idea over and over. I am a child of the universe. I am a child of fortune. All right? There was the power of choice, you see. Choice produces results. And that was what he chose, and that was the result that came. After I had first written about this prosperity technique, and many people have, but after I first wrote about it in Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, and we have a whole chapter in this book too on the idea, a businessman from Philadelphia wrote me an interesting letter just to verify this success method. He said that he had once been asked by a large corporation to give 92 of their top executives a success course. And this company paid him something like $2,000 to conduct this course, this success course. And in this course, the executives were asked to write out the things that they wanted to experience in life. He asked them to do this very thing. Now, the results, he said, that followed were very interesting. He said miracles happened. Everyone was healed of health problems, even of incurable diseases. Well, whoever heard of getting a healing, especially from a supposedly incurable disease, by simply writing it on your list? And yet he said it happened in that group of executives. Out of 92 men, all but 2 said they had gained vast good. 90 out of 92, you see. All of these men got raises in pay of from $2,000 to $20,000 a year from this method. Health problems, prosperity, and personality problems were all solved by using this list-making method by these 92 top executives. Now you say, well, it almost seems too good to be true. That's right, because the prosperous truth is too good to be true to the average person who is used to the hard work level of supply. Now the hard work level of supply is the lesser level. The more you learn these inner laws of prosperity, the more you learn to do what we're talking about here tonight, to create your prosperity mentally first. And remember that your prosperity and your success may be as much as 98% mental preparation and 2% outer action.